fuck? I'm getting stupid loose.
I don't like your jerk off name. I don't like your jerk off face. I don't like your jerk off behavior. And I don't like you, jerk off.
And we're back. We took off last week, but I guess we're back this week.
I was trying to open my drink right when you stopped talking, and you talked more than I expected.
Well, here you go. I'll join you. Chin chin, motherfucker.
Cheers, bitch. So yeah, we've been we skipped a week because it's been a hella crazy past couple weeks for us.
Yeah, there were concussions. There were.
So listen, there's been so much going on.
Holy shit!
There's two of us. We have 3 kids.
Yeah,
we have 3 kids. I don't know where I was.
Right.
2 of us, 3 kids. Yeah, it's been crazy. So we went first 2 weeks ago now, or I guess the week before, whatever, however you want to say it. Bi-weekly.
No. Semi-weekly, bi-weekly,
and I'll let you
what
decide
the fuck?
if it was 2 weeks ago or a month and a half ago. I went to a wedding.
Oh, God.
So,
I stayed home. It was great.
Yeah, so I've had a ton of weddings with my coworkers lately. Mm-hmm. And most of the times you go with me, but this one, you were finally just like, dude, fuck it, I'm not going. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. Fine, don't go. And it was hilarious because, not hilarious, but like, so we got there, we did the little ceremony, which was like the perfect ceremony because most of them, you know, like you sit there and they're super long and drawn out and you're just like, okay, when is this done?
Yep,
and
most
like,
of them.
As the mom there with 3 kids, the ceremony was fast enough that like none of my kids got antsy.
Yeah, I was like,
or,
do
fussy.
you go bang?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, hey, do you, let's say a prayer. Cool, let's go eat.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm okay with that. Cause,
that's not bad, because, like, holding a kid still.
Well, and not just
for
like as
a
a mom,
and
but
quiet.
Like, do you really want to sit there and listen to a bunch of like, blah-de, 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 blah-de,
well,
blah?
You know, I wanted it so much that I decided to not go at all.
Yeah. So, and then we got to the reception part, and 2 of my, there's 5 of us, and the table seats like, I think, 6 or 8.
Oh, great.
So it was like, maybe it was 6 because it was us and one other like single person at our table. So I sat at the table we were supposed to sit at.
Yeah.
And then most of my coworkers sat at the table right next, not most, but like a good portion sat at the 2 tables next to me.
Right.
And right next to me, there was my boss and our secretary.
Okay.
And we're talking to them, and they're like, hey, where's your husband? And I was like, oh, you know, he didn't feel good, blah, blah. And they looked at me, and I was like, okay, he didn't want to come. He was tired of weddings. He didn't want to come.
Yeah.
And they laughed, and I said, and they were laughing, like, giving me shit. And I said, well, where are y'all's husbands? And they were both like,
they didn't
they didn't want to come either.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, then.
Exactly.
So don't give me
so
shit.
Fuck
like,
right off. Listen, weddings are like, it's not a guy thing, dude.
Well, but
like,
also,
unless
like,
it's like a really close friend of yours and you're like a best man and it's gonna be fun.
Right.
Like Steve's wedding was fun.
Right. Because you know him.
Right. And you know what I mean? Like maybe my brother's wedding, if that ever happens, I'll go. I'm not sure it's gonna be fun, but like I'll try.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah, I know. But like other than that, like I don't understand why you want to bring like a group of like a lot of times not even that close of friends and like their dates, which are strangers to you, into one of your pretty intimate moments. Start a fucking OnlyFans. You know?
No.
Hey, I'll tip. You want some fucking wedding gifts? Show that gash. Ew, actually, I don't know. I don't know who I'm talking about, so I'm going to say
Yeah, no.
maybe don't start an OnlyFans on this one. But, like,
No.
you get the sentiment. You know what I mean? If you really want people to step in an intimate moment, let us pick which intimate moment.
Well, and as someone who's had a wedding before and invited too many random people, not random, but like, you know what I mean, that I wasn't that close with. If I had to do it all over again, it would be like...
It'd be like a third of the people, if that.
It would be like me, you, our moms, and your brother.
I'd be
in
cool
the
with
mountains.
that. I'd be okay with that, to be honest.
Make your brother get ordained, because you can do that shit online now.
Mm-hmm.
Your brother gets ordained online, marries us, and our moms are giving us both away.
No one gives away a groom, but
you know what I mean. I wasn't trying to get all sappy and shit with it.
No, I got you. Yeah, it's
But you know what I mean? Like, if I could do it all again, not that I didn't love our wedding because our wedding was still
We
wonderful.
had a great night.
We had a great time.
That's the thing. Like,
But looking back, there was so much stress and worry and money.
Yeah. And the night before, we're trying not to fucking murder people.
Right?
It's
like, oh, you're seeing your wife before the wedding, and it's like, yes, we have to pay these people together, and we have to finalize the details.
It's I remember the three of us.
But no, it was fine.
Just came home after the rehearsal, and we sat there talking. We're like, we're gonna kill half of these fucking people.
And it wasn't even each other. Like, we weren't upset with each other.
No. You were upset with some people, and I was about to fucking lose my shit on them.
Who was I upset with? Was it a family member of mine?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, I don't remember. I think a lot of it was just so much like bullshit that I just kind of blocked it out of my memory.
You were in tears.
I just remember that we had a bunch of like centerpieces for our tables that ended up in that side room that never actually got put out because we didn't have time.
Bro, I mean, and like me, my mom, Billy Buttons, and the lady that they brought to help him out, we were there early.
Well, and looking back too, like I remember telling your mom that I just wanted to do fake flowers because it was easier and quicker.
Right.
But like at the time, I didn't know that your mom was so good at doing floral arrangements.
Yeah, that's her fucking thing, man.
If I had known then what I knew now, I would have been like, yes, please.
I mean,
at the time, she has grown her floral arrangement, I guess, side hustle business since then.
She's doing a craft show on Thanksgiving. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. But like at the time, I really, that's one thing that like, it sounds bad to say I regret something I'm running because I don't regret any of it.
Right.
But like if I could just change one thing, it would probably be that. Like letting her do the floral arrangements. Anyways, that's not the point of my story. We're talking about the weddings. So we've been to a shitload of weddings lately, and this one it was just no
the camel
different.
That broke.
What?
It was the camel that broke. It was the straw that broke the camel's back.
What is the camel?
It was the camel that broke my asshole. Essentially, that's what it was. You know,
Well, and this one too, like the last one we went to, there was at least the pull of like, okay, well, there's an open bar.
Oh yeah, this one was
completely dry, which is okay because you don't have to deal with like drunk people, and it's probably a lot cheaper for her.
That's fair.
But also the fact that there was only sweet tea and water. Like, I don't like sweet tea.
You don't drink tea at all, so that's fun.
But so we got water, all me and the kids, because I think our girls don't really like sweet tea either. I think the oldest will drink an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
But not like straight sweet tea. But we got the tea out of the little jug, whatever dispenser you want to call it. Like, we got the tea out of that, and she drinks it, and she was like,
the carafe.
Our 9-year-old. And she's like, this water doesn't taste very good, Mom. It kind of tastes like it just came from the sink.
It probably did.
But that just cracked me up because, like, me as a 9-year-old, I had no earthly idea what sink water versus bottled water like
tasted like.
I didn't know that. Well, I knew, but you know what I mean. Like, I never tasted anything differently. Like, I wouldn't as a 9-year-old, I would not have been able to tell the difference
between those.
As a something 9-year-old right now, I can.
I mean,
but
yeah,
it just cracked me up the way she was like, "This tastes like it came straight from the sink, Mom."
It sure
a little
fucking
sasser.
did.
It cracked me
They're
up.
spoiled, man. They've always eaten very well and drank very well.
Well, yeah.
Like I was talking to someone, and we just bought them like a case of like Prime and stuff like that. Which like it's not a big deal, I don't think.
Which is funny because I don't like Prime.
They're okay. Like for a sugary drink, it's not very sugary.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like the like nutrients label at least looks decent.
Yeah.
But to me, it's too much flavor.
It's very I don't know how they do it, but yeah, it's very strong.
Too
flavored.
much flavor for me.
But I'll milk one. Like I open one around like breakfast.
Yeah, you'll just sip on it.
And I sipped on it throughout the day, but like.
Well, our oldest will take them to school, and then she feels cool because she has Prime, like the other kids.
I guess.
And then, like, she likes them.
And it's better than Gatorade, bottle by bottle comparison.
Based off the nutrition facts or whatever that I've read off the back, it seems to be.
So, but anyway, So I was telling, maybe it was Coach Matt. He's like, yeah, I like them, dude, but they're fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, like, are they? Like, is that a thing? Mm-hmm. But that's what our kids like. So I was just like, I don't know what to do.
It is so
like,
funny because like me and you and him, like we grew up super poor.
The three, for sure.
Like, yes, my dad was a judge. So like in my younger days that I don't remember were okay. But once he passed, like my mom was a teacher assistant.
It's a different story. No, for sure.
So like it was a different story because she was a teacher assistant. We were still trying to live off a judge's salary. So it went to shit really fast. But I mean, I never realized that as a kid. So that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I realize it now looking back because I know, but.
No, I know. And it's, yeah, he also had a rough upbringing
right.
from what I can tell as well. And
which cracked me up.
I don't know if rough is the word, but like, he definitely got into MMA because he was getting his ass kicked.
I was going to say, I don't know much about his upbringing, but it just cracked me up when he brought the hot fries.
Yeah, those are so fucking good.
And he asked me if I'd ever tried them, and I was like, no. But it was because, like, we couldn't afford the hot fries even.
Dude,
like, those weren't even a thing.
And that's when he was like, he kind of he didn't get defensive, but he was just like, oh, sorry, I grew up poor. And I was like, dude, my mom still cleans shitters to this day.
Right, like,
so,
please don't apologize for that, because, like, so did we.
Don't ever, like... And I don't consider myself rich by any means now.
No, but also, like, together, we've made something for ourselves and our family.
Yeah. We have our own, like, little place and stuff. It's nothing
We have a decent size, but it's a whole lot bigger than any house I ever grew up in.
Me too. But, like,
exactly.
Again,
like, it's just him.
It was also timing of the market when we got the house. Like,
yes.
we did not...
But my point is, like, he said that, like, as if he didn't realize that both of us did not...
He definitely knows I did not come from money. I don't know how much he knows about your background, you know what I mean? But
right.
Like,
well, people hear like, hey, your dad was a judge. You must have had money. It's like, I'm sure we did at one point, but like by the time he passed away,
right.
like
it could have happened.
we were still trying to live off a judge's salary and what happening.
Yeah, no, it's whatever.
Dude, back to the wedding thing.
Yeah,
the weather. So we live in North Carolina, and the weather lately has been the most bipolar of any bitch I've ever met in my life. And I've met some bipolar bitches.
I dated one.
Yeah. I was raised by one.
Good.
Literally, she was telling me, she said she missed her meds for like 2 days because she was out and didn't feel like going to the store or didn't feel like going to the pharmacy. That was the morning
that she came in like crying and shit. Yeah. And I was like, I can't leave my kids with this fucking lunatic.
Every once in a while, she'll like not feel like going to the pharmacy because she moved, but she keeps the same pharmacy, so it's further away. That's and retarded. I keep telling her, like, dude, just move to the whatever pharmacy that delivers to you. You don't have to worry about it.
Even that, yeah. Or like a closer one.
But it's the same pharmacy she's used forever since my dad was alive. So I don't know. I guess it's nostalgia or something. But she was telling me today, she's like, yeah, I missed my meds for a couple of days. And she was like, I am really bipolar. I was like, yeah, Mom, you need to take your meds, please. Like,
Jesus Christ.
They're good for you. She picked them up today. She's fine. But
yeah, that morning, like, it was like, you can just come into my house and break down in tears and then just be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm actually fine.
Which makes me nervous because, like, how many times have I cried and been like, it's fine. I'm fine.
Yo, are you bipolar, bitch?
No. No. I'm not bipolar.
I'm actually fine.
I don't know about that.
I'm actually fine.
It's fine.
You tell yourself that.
Yeah, I will. Until eventually I need some bipolar meds, but it's fine. Any hoodles, my point, wherever I was starting with this.
Tea and water.
Was the weather.
The weather.
So, like, it's been summer, it's been hot, and then it finally got cold for like a week. And it's great because I was like, sweet fall vibes, like it's been fall, I can wear sweaters. And we were getting ready for this wedding, and I didn't look at the weather because I'm a dumb bitch, I guess.
Sometimes.
And I was like, hey, like, it's been fall weather, so like our middle kid wore a sweater dress, the oldest wore like a long sleeve, like a thicker dress, and I wore a sweater dress as well.
Yeah.
But we got there and I was sweating because it was the ceremony was outside. So I was sweaty, but I was like, okay, cool. It's fast. Let's go inside. We went inside, but like all the doors were open. Were you making fun of me? Okay, wait a minute. We'll go back to that. All the doors were open. And I was chasing around our 1-year-old, almost 1.5-year-old. And he's in that stage where like
takes a few steps.
He can take a couple
crawls.
steps and he crawls. So like,
but the crawling's fast.
So like, he's a big boy. He does not want to be held.
No.
He does not want to be held.
No.
So I couldn't hold him. I was chasing him around and he was wanting to try to walk. Every time he stood up,
Get your fat ass up there, Kyle!
Yeah. So I'm chasing him around, like sweating, and then our girls are like making friends, which is great, but I'm still like trying to keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember or not, but there was one wedding where one of our kids just disappeared.
Our middle one disappeared.
Was it the middle or the oldest?
It was the middle one.
She disappeared because she went to the bathroom.
And then we were not mad at the oldest one, but they were dancing together. And then she was playing with another girl that was also at the wedding and like lost track of her sister. And we found her in like the entry, which was like a separate building, which is where the bathrooms were, with another family.
Yes.
And then she was like, "Oh, I just needed to go to the potty and this and that."
Scared
and they
the
helped
ever-living
me.
well, because I remember like I told you, which I think I was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go take pictures with the other girls."
Right.
And I went and took pictures, came back, I was like, "Hey, where are the girls?" And you're like, "Yeah, they're on the dance floor." And I look, and this was before the little boy was born. We just had the 2 girls. And I see the oldest, and I'm like, "Okay, but where's the other one?" Yeah. And you were like, "She's with the oldest." And I was like, "No, she's not."
Yeah.
And you were like, "What the fuck?" And that's when we found her. Yeah. So, mindless to say, I was chasing the baby.
Well, don't lie! Fuck it!
Right? And I kept like trying to keep an eye on the other 2 every once in a while, just in case one went disappearing on me.
They can do that.
Yeah, they do. And then we got in line. So they had like a taco bar or whatever. Yeah. And we were in line, and I had the baby on my hip, and the oldest was with one of my coworkers, and the middle child was with a coworker. The oldest, she's pretty self-sufficient. Like, she can tell you what she wants, what she doesn't want, fine.
Right.
The middle one, she's 4. So she is
annoying.
The epitome of a 4-year-old. She wants to be independent, but whatever. Yeah. So my friend that has her is like, "Hey, what does she like on her tacos?" And I was like, "Normally just meat and cheese." She's like, "Okay, anything else?" I'm like, "No, beef or chicken, beef." Okay. So like we're in the line, we're planning. I'm like, "Hey, beef and cheese, and she'll be good. That's all she wants."
It's not what she wanted, huh?
So my other friend, thankfully I had my coworkers were helping me, because my other friend's like holding my plate as I'm scooping stuff on and holding the baby. My other friend that's got the middle child is like, eyeball, like we're making eye contact, trying to make sure that the middle kid gets the right stuff. And the middle kid's like going MIA and is like wanting like different stuff, like sour cream and lettuce, which is fine. That's
random.
Which is fine if she'll eat it. But you literally never know with her if she'll eat it or not. So my friend kept looking at me. I was like, "Is this okay? Is this okay?" I'm like,
"Everything is fine.
I don't give a shit. Let her put whatever on there if she'll eat it."
Right.
But, and then
at that time, not to say much, but I was probably talking to my brother and our mom.
Yes. And then after like one cha-cha slide, I was dripping sweat to the point that one of my friend's husband was like, "Holy shit."
Did you just sniff your pits?
I did. Because I was stinky last night and I got paranoid, but I smell good, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I smell fine.
Here. Is this the kind of church you go to? Jesus Christ. This is the kind of church that I imagine North Carolina has. Can you describe what's going on?
There's a Hispanic-ish guy with his pants at his knees and a shirt that says Jesus on it. He's going, "Jesus Christ!"
This is amazing.
And he's doing some kind of like robotic dance moves.
Yeah, bro. He's popping, locking.
He's got a hat in his back pocket that says Jesus on it.
And Crip colors too. I wonder if they're cool with that.
And Tim's. I mean, like...
Yeah. But at what point is that just a man popping, locking for another dude? Which is kind of gay.
He's got face tats too. Like, I bet you he went to jail and then found Jesus in jail.
Yeah.
Which, like, if that's how you find Jesus, whatever.
I mean,
there are easier ways to find Jesus than going to jail.
Is he going to power up?
Jesus Christ.
What is happening? I'm going to start wearing my Timbs like that.
Jesus Christ. You wouldn't. You'd wear them like that for a minute, and then you'd be like, "This is uncomfortable as shit."
That is very uncomfortable. Yeah.
And then at the end, he hugs a guy that's in like the tightest dress pants and polka dot shirt that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's unironically doing the Bruce Buffer without a tie.
But his pants are way. Bruce Buffer would never wear pants that tight.
No, Double B is not. I mean,
Double B.
he's the man.
Double B is the man.
His attire wasn't as flashy yesterday. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but needless to say, North Carolina weddings. I mean, North Carolina weather is crazy right now.
Weddings blow
because it goes from hot to cold to hot to cold.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
It's usually this time of year though,
and also like I feel like this time of year too. There's a ton of weddings because October, which we also got married in October, so I can't complain too much. But
it's cheaper. That's why.
Well, it's cool enough that it's not super hot, but you're not cold. Sometimes if you're lucky.
The next wedding I will be going to will be one of my kids' wedding.
Or your brother's.
Or my brother's.
I don't know. Our kid might get married first.
There's a chance that one of our kids marries before my brother does.
Hopefully the oldest.
I hope so. What kind of fucking child bride situation? Or my brother just literally never gets married.
He might not. I mean, they've been together forever. They're having their second kid.
Yeah.
And they're still just like, fuck it.
Yeah. It's like, listen, I get it. Like, there's literally no point to getting married. Like,
it sounds shitty to say, but you're right.
It's a piece of paper. Like, it shouldn't change anything. I don't think it changes anything.
It doesn't.
For us.
Like, that was the one thing that drove me nuts so much.
It adds unnecessary stress. That's all it does.
It's a lot of stress, but then, like, after we got married, so many people, especially for us, because we already had a kid and we already lived together and bought a house together when we got married. So, like, my friend
it was either, like, do we get married or we buy a house?
Well,
like, I think the house was better.
My point in that is, my friend that just, the wedding that I went to last weekend, like, they were not living together.
Jesus Christ.
They were not doing anything. So things did change for them a little bit. But, like, for us...
Oh, yeah, because they're probably at each other's throats. We got that out of the way in a shitty apartment.
Well, like, and also, like, I feel like you can be in love with somebody, but you've got to figure out if you can live with them, too.
Yeah, dude, once you start seeing their fucking literal dirty laundry, like, things do change. But, like, we did that before marriage.
But, like, yeah, you got to figure out, like, what you're willing to put up with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you can love somebody, but if they sleep on your side of the bed and that's not going to change, then, like, that might be a deal breaker.
The tendency is to only get worse, right? Is that?
I wouldn't say they got worse because, like,
things like that definitely do get worse. If, like, you're not in a smart situation.
Well, again, like, you got to figure out if you can actually live with that person.
Yeah. Because there are some people that eventually, by like 6 months in, you're like, I hate the way you breathe and chew, and I want to murder you.
Right. Like, you can be like, yes, I love you to death. I love spending 10 hours with you a day.
Yeah.
But I get to go home to myself at night, and then but, like, I like living. We knew that. Anyways, so that used to drive me nuts. Like, after we got married, people would be like, oh, how's married life? I'm like, it's the same because... I guess
we get to file taxes together now? Yeah.
Right. Like, we already have a kid together. We're already living together. We already, like, share expenses.
Yeah.
We share more expenses now, but that's literally because I make more money now than I did when we met.
Well,
you do too, but you know what I mean? Like, I can actually put my part in at the expenses, whereas at the time I could not.
Yeah, no. Speaking of weddings, I got dragged to a potluck situation this weekend, and like a fucking Trojan horse, I was kind of snuck into like a fucking weird therapist position, and it's not a position that I like to be in very often.
I still feel bad about that.
Like, dude, it literally started with like this other husband.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
First of all, let's set the scene.
Okay.
Sorry, I just took a mouthful of food.
No, you're fine.
But I went to a potluck.
Yes.
Hosted by my coworker.
Yes, and she's very nice. I'm not talking shit about her.
Right. She's wonderful. She's sweet.
I'm not talking shit about anyone. This is literally just a situation that happened.
I know. I'm just setting the scene. It was a potluck. We were there, mingling or whatever.
Yep.
another coworker comes with her husband. She's
Who
like,
I've met once before at a wedding.
hey, I can't stay too long. Blah, blah,
I didn't
blah.
hear that. That part I didn't hear, but that's
I did. And then you and the husband start talking about video games.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. Like, Gabe's not going to absolutely hate tonight because he's like
I thought I had a distraction.
Right,
I was
like,
like,
hey,
this may
he's-
turn out all right. Let's talk some Mortal Kombat, dude.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And you're like talking about good video games that I know y'all play. Whereas like
Yeah.
the second husband you were talking about video games with, I was like,
Oh, he was telling me about Minecraft, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not a 12-year-old.
I was like, yeah. I was like, not the
So-
same. You guys were talking about
Anyway.
video games that I know you played.
Yes.
So that was like, okay, cool. He's good. I left. You guys went out back.
And before, like, at the wedding, not to cut you off,
You're fine.
we talked about my vasectomy. Like, I got to joke around. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I knew that at least I can throw some jokes and he wasn't going to get his panties in a bunch. Because that's always another worry that I have. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say something and this dude's going to fucking hate me. Like, and that's going to be awkward. But that didn't happen. I was like, all right, he's joked around. I literally talked about, like, a guy named Kush touching my Brazil nuts and snipping them on 420. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we've been through the trenches before.
Right.
And then video game talk came through. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, man, I'm going to hit this vape outside. I was like, let's fucking go outside. I got my fucking vape in my pocket.
And at that point, I left you guys because I was like, okay, they're going outside. They're having guy talk. Great. Gabe doesn't hate himself. I'm not freaking out about that. I'm going to go play with the kids, play with the girls. Like, not play with the girls, talk to the girls.
If this was an
Chit chat.
ID network show, the voiceover would say, and this is when it went wrong.
She should not have left him.
No. But, so we go outside. I think we started talking about just bidding against her a little bit more. And then somehow it turned into, like, arguments that he's having with his wife and his wife's family. Like, I think his wife's sister doesn't like him very much. And, like,
Yeah, mine either, but we deal with it, okay?
yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I don't see my fucking cunty sister-in-law, and I avoid that. Like, I think we do all right. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was
Yeah.
petty shit that I was just like, I don't know, dude. Sounds like you just don't go over there. But then he's like, yeah, but then, like, she gets mad at me for hanging out with my family. I was like, oh, I don't know. My family gets along better with my wife and kids than they do with me. So that's not an issue I have.
Well, I think
But-
you hit the nail on the head when you said this when we left. That it's like early marriage bullshit.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, we went through that same thing, too, where I would get mad when you, or upset when you wouldn't go to, like, certain like, my niece's birthday parties or whatever.
Hey,
and now I'm
listen,
just like, hey.
it's either that or I will fucking choke and embarrass her fucking father in front of everyone. So I think that's a better choice now.
But, like, at the time, you wouldn't go, and then I would be mad because we just fought. You're not there, and then I'm not having a good time because I'm worried. But now I'm just like, yeah, fuck yeah. You stay home. I'll go. You're happy. I'm happy.
Mean, also
like,
gives you an excuse to get the fuck out of there because I'm sure you're not very happy to be there most of the times. Am I lying?
I'm not saying that on recording.
Oh, fair enough. We'll confirm that off mic. But it's just, it is what it is. Just like, I don't know, dude. Like, figure it out.
Wild style.
But
Family style?
Family style?
Wasn't that a game? Figure it out. Wild style. Am I making that up?
That I don't know. I have no idea.
There was like a game show on Nickelodeon that was Figure It Out.
I have no idea. We
All right,
can
I'm scared to
Google it.
Will you Google like Figure It Out Wild Style and see if that's a thing?
Figure it. Why don't you figure it out, bitch?
Hey, Figure It Out, American game show.
Okay.
Figure It Out
on Nickelodeon.
See?
Okay.
I'm not crazy. 97. See?
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I was in Brazil. I didn't
Children's
watch this
panel
shit.
hosted by Summer Sanders.
Yeah, I was.
That woman was my bitch back in the day.
Really.
She hosted all of the like kids game shows on Nickelodeon, and I loved those.
She was your bitch. Is she hot? Not now.
No, she's like a sporty old woman now, but like,
Was she hot back in the day?
no, I don't know. I wasn't
She was a
think-
swimmer.
Back in the day, I wasn't thinking about if she was hot or not. I was excited about the kids getting slimed and
Oh, okay.
Listen, I watched game shows with my grandpa. So whenever like he and I were hanging out,
He wouldn't turn to you and be like, "Hey, that bitch has got some tits."
no,
No?
he'd be sleeping in the recliner, and I'd be sitting in his
Fanny
lap.
wouldn't do that.
No,
Fanny was the man.
Feeney
was the man.
Feeney was the man.
Just saying.
Dude, my grandparents had the most, I feel like, Southern grandparent names ever.
Yeah.
Like
Beulah.
Feeney and Desi were my grandparents.
Who's Beulah?
Beulah was my great aunt. Was Desi's sister, Beulah.
Oh, there you go. I knew there was a Beulah somewhere.
And she lived with them. It was Feeney, Desi, and Beulah. The three of them lived together.
I would never do that.
Their whole lives.
I would never do that.
You wouldn't let your brother live with us if it was just him?
Oh, I thought it for
I mean, it was my grandma's sister. It was, and I understand that my sister would never live with us.
Yeah, no.
However, I'm saying if the roles were reversed.
My brother lived with us?
Yeah.
My brother would be pretty cool to hang out.
If he was not
around.
married with children.
Yeah, he'd be pretty cool to have around. But the issue is too, like, we will eventually get tired of each other's
Oh, yeah, I'm
bullshit
sure.
and get on each other's throats.
You guys literally
So-
fought like Thanksgiving a couple years ago.
Hold on. Almost 10 fucking years ago.
Okay, we only had one kid at the time.
Yes, it was the
Okay.
first Thanksgiving in this house.
So then not 10 years ago, because there was
Almost 10 years ago. It was like 8 years ago.
no 7.
8. It was our first Thanksgiving in this house.
Yeah, and she
She turned
turned
2.
3 shortly after. So yeah. Remember
Right. I'm just saying. Like, and
Anyway.
I love my brother to death. I
Yeah.
would beat the fuck out of anyone that crossed him.
Right.
But it gets to a point that, like, if we're not taking it as jokes and it depends on each other's mood,
Because
like,
eventually one of you will like cross that line
100%.
just enough to like poke the
Well,
other
we
one.
know each other's buttons and it's fun to push them.
Well, were we talking about that the day we got in a big fight and you and I heard the next day we're like, yeah, we just knew the right buttons to push.
It's just that. It comes down to, like, we're like, oh, okay, send nuclear codes now. And it's just, it is what it is. But no, my brother and I have not really fought.
No.
Even that night, like,
That
I was
night,
just pissed, and like you kept coming in the room. You're like, he wants to come in and apologize. I was like, I will punch him right in the fucking face if he comes in.
I was nervous because like you guys were like play fighting, and then
I will admit at the time I tapped to whatever bullshit he
you
had,
tried to stop it,
and
and
then
he did not.
fucking did not. And we can have him on one day as a guest to tell his side of the story. But he definitely like fucking cranked it a little bit more before he let it go. That pissed me off. So as soon as he let me go, I punched him right in the fucking face.
Yeah, and then
And I was like,
didn't
let's
know.
go now, bitch.
And then you went upstairs to like decompress and be by yourself, and then I felt
Yes.
so awkward.
I was watching The Godfather and plotting murder, but I was calming down.
I felt so awkward because I was like, well, part of me feels like I need to be up there with him, like
No. I just
talking to
needed
him and
chill.
calming him down. And then part of me is like, but I still need to entertain like our guests.
Or guests. No, everyone was sleeping here. No one was fucking leaving. But like,
Yeah, but I
it's-
was like, I don't know what to do. So
and
I'm
we
like,
were fine. What happened in the next morning?
no, but I'm just saying, like at that time, like I couldn't just sit down there and act like nothing happened and like have a conversation
I understand.
with your
It's like,
family.
oh,
like,
how's your nose?
So
No, I
guys, how was
understand.
dinner? You guys want dessert? Like
Happy birthday, Vanya.
I'm just like running back
That's
and
the
forth.
other
with
thing. It was on my mom's birthday. The Thanksgiving fell that year. And like,
it was so weird.
she's like, "This is a great birthday present for me," and I was like, "Well, happy fucking birthday, bitch!" And just came in upstairs, and I was done.
Happy
but-
fucking birthday.
Well, fuck you too, mom. And,
Terrible.
and I was like, if he wants to settle it, we can fucking fight in the backyard.
Yeah,
And
you're
he
ready to
wouldn't
go.
do it.
And he was like, I think
He's
he was
like,
scared.
I'm
I was
not.
like,
He's
no.
like, I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, I'm going to, because you're a bitch. You know, I'll beat the fuck out of you. But we hugged it out the next morning. We're brothers, dude. That's what happens.
No, I know.
So I don't think my brother living with us would be the best. Whenever it would be good, it'd be fucking awesome. But when it went bad, it would be bad for a little bit, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, because shut the fuck up. Because like at that time we were like, okay, well he's leaving in a few days, so we've got to like, you got to make up and like enjoy the last couple days. But like if he lived with us,
I mean, even when we lived together, we were always
back
like that.
then. Now you're adults and you have adult like
But
money
I'm saying,
and thoughts.
even when we were like kids, we could have really bad fights where like I was ready to murder him. And the next day, like, we're cool. We hugged it out and we're fine. It's just like, oh, you were being a prick. It's like, well, you were being kind of an asshole.
But yeah, probably.
All right. Sorry. Hug it out. I love you. And that's it. Someone called me out. I forgot who it was. They're like, I don't know. I've always told my brother I love him.
Yeah.
Like at the end of conversations, like calls. I just
it was me because
normal.
I think it's cute.
They're like, you just always tell me you love him. I was like, well, I do.
I do that too, though.
But it's my brother.
To the point that, like, because I literally talked to 2 people on the phone, and it's you and my mother.
Right.
And therefore, I end all those conversations with, all right, bye, I love you. Bye, I love you. So when I first started working at the hospital...
You'd sign, like, patients would be
so
like, hey, can I check on room 202? It's like, yeah, bye, I love you.
Yeah, prior to the hospital, I did home health, so I didn't have to work at... I didn't have to use the phone. I mean,
true.
I did, but you know what I mean? Like, not like I do now.
I mean,
now,
you are blonde and numbers are confusing. I get it.
Shut the fuck up. Now I talk to like a gajillion people a day at work. Mm-hmm. And my ring's stuck in my pajama pants. Hang on. My ring is stuck in my pants. Okay. For a while when I first started, because of course I was scared to talk on the phone to anybody because I hate talking on the phone. They're like, okay, bye, I love you. And then I was like, oh, I did that. I made the mistake once. Like so many times that I thought about it, I almost did it, but like one time I actually did it. Did an old man
show up
and then
to
I was
propose?
Like, this is weird.
It's like someone loves me in this hospital.
And now half the time when I want to answer my cell phone, I want to answer, it's Rebecca.
Yeah, no.
Thank you for calling XYZ floor. This is Rebecca.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
No, it's not.
We're technically on the 2nd floor now, so you can answer
to
later.
West, it's Rebecca.
Great.
Thank you for calling household. How can I help you?
No, don't ever call the household.
No, because half the time now, especially if there's caller ID on the phone, like most of the time it'll ring as like unavailable or it'll give you their number. But like if I know it's
spam potential, that's who calls me all the time.
So I've started answering, especially if it's my boss or like the supervisor. I'll answer and be like, "Thank you for calling Chick-fil-A. This is Rebecca. How can I help you?" Yeah. And then they'll like make a joke or I'll say Pizza Hut. And then I'll tell them, I'll be like, I'm just practicing for my next job in case nursing doesn't work out for me. And they're like, no, at least
work in Costco, so I think their pizza is better than Pizza Hut.
Oh, absolutely.
We recently, we have made the switch
Costco
to
pizza.
Costco, and the food is all right for like shitty store food.
Shitty, cheap, like bulk chain store food. I mean, it's better than
a fucking like grocery like market, if you will.
Yeah. Well, and also like it's wonderful because if I just went to Costco and spent an ungodly amount of money on groceries,
the like $1.50 slices are not bad.
That's what I was gonna say. Like when after I've spent that much money and bought that much shit, I don't want to go home and then cook lunch.
That too.
Especially if it's just for me. Like if you're at work and the kids are at school, except for me and the baby.
Who was with us? Oh, the oldest one was with us.
At the time, all the kids were with us.
No.
The oldest and the baby.
The oldest and the baby. The middle one was at daycare.
Yeah. But like, if I just spent all that money and all those groceries, I don't want to come home and cook anything because I got to put shit away. So like,
that is true.
Being able to grab like $1.50 slice of pizza or like, we got...
Dude, the hot dog with the soda was like $2.70 something.
We got 2 pieces of pizza, a hot dog, a churro, and a soda, and it was like $7.
Yeah,
it was like, okay, we just fed at least 4.5 of us.
Like my stepmom, whenever I had to go visit my dad, she used to do that a lot. Just pick up pizza from Costco, and at the time, you know, you're a kid, you don't know anything about prices or anything like that. It's just like fucking pizza.
Well, now
but it was good back then. It was okay because like. Going to visit California from New York, New Jersey area, like the pizza is always gonna be shit.
Yeah.
You know, but like as far as pizzas went, I was like, this is pretty serviceable.
For shitty cheap pizza, like it's way better than like Little Caesars.
100%.
So I'm already thinking of like the next kid's birthday party. Like if we do something
where a birthday party at Costco.
No, but where like I have to pick out the food.
Just bring Costco pizzas.
I'm gonna get Costco pizzas.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I wonder how much a full pie is. Probably not a lot.
A lot cheaper than getting Publix subs catered.
But that could be pretty banging though.
They were because we did that for the kids, the baby's first birthday. But like
that was delicious.
Anyways,
But
dude, speaking of fucking birthdays, we've also been to 2 birthday parties this weekend. Well, not we, I have taken
one kind of
our
snuck
daughters.
up on us because like we weren't really invited until yesterday.
So yes,
But it's always kind of assumed that we're gonna go.
So the first one was one from the middle kids daycare,
Right.
and I wasn't gonna go because I didn't know them, but
It's hard to say, hey,
Well,
you can't go to your fucking friend's birthday. I get
right,
it.
and like the 4-year, like she was so excited, so I was like, okay, and then also like I start thinking about when her birthday comes up, like I
kids to come.
want these kids to be comfortable and to like want to come,
Right.
so I was like, okay, fine, fuck it, we'll go. And we went, and it was at a little like a play place. I don't know what to call it because like it wasn't
Like a trampoline park.
It wasn't a big trampoline park. There was like one little section that had trampolines.
Yeah.
There was like slides and climbing things. There was like a little arcade. It was like a mini version of like a big trampoline park.
Yeah, for
Perfect
little kids.
for like toddlers and younger kids. So she had a blast, and it was fun. I got to meet like two or three kids in her class's parents. So that was nice. So like I can like make sure I invite them to her party or whatever. And it was funny because like we have 3. So it was just me and the middle one. You stayed home with the oldest and the youngest. Mm-hmm. And she was just running around. And I was just kind of like not gently, but like slowly following her.
Right.
And just like watching where she went. And one of the moms was like, oh man, it's so hard to keep up with her. And was like, not complaining,
you,
but
lady.
like kept making comments like that. Like, oh, it's a lot to keep up with. And I was like, finally, I was like,
It's like, what? You're 1 in the game? All right, you're barely a parent. Fuck off.
yeah. Then finally, I was like,
I'm
listen,
a veteran, bitch.
I am so relaxed right now, only watching one. It's like I'm used to trying to keep up with 3.
You're like, this is my 3rd tour of Vietnam. Fuck you, bitch.
Well, and our kids like are 3 totally different ages. Like the 9-year-old,
Yeah.
the 4-year-old, and the 1-year-old. If we're at like a trampoline park, they're all on different things.
Yeah, and we divide and conquer,
Like
and that's kind of
the
it.
1-year-old needs the little baby stuff. The 4-year-old's like right in the middle, but you got to watch her because she's a daredevil and doesn't give a shit. And then the oldest is
Yeah.
pretty self-sufficient, but you also kind of got to watch her because you never know if she's going to dip out on you.
There's that. And it's
So yeah, I was like, yeah, dude, I've got 3. So like just watching one,
It's
this
funny, dude.
is kind of nice. And she was like, oh wow. And I was like, yeah.
the only person that like is not unrealistic and says dumb shit like that I know that only has 1 kid is from work.
Okay.
And because he's got the 1 daughter, and you know she's older, and I believe she's like in probably kindergarten or 1st grade.
Okay.
And but he's never like, he's like, no, dude, at least they got 1.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're right. Like I have to run around 3 different places and just
Yeah.
yell at people sometimes.
Well, my friend at work, she just had her 3rd kid, and she was asking me. She's like, what is it? How bad is it? What's the difference?
It's
Blah,
bad.
blah, blah. And I'm like,
It's
well,
not a difference. Once you have
no.
2, it's just like you're kind of in it.
so that's what I told her. I was like, yeah, from 1 to 2 is a massive transition.
Yeah.
But from 2 to 3,
Yeah.
like it's still a transition because there's another baby and kid coming into the house.
Right.
But like you've
And it's
already
another personality,
you
but,
already
like-
know how to deal with multiples.
Yeah.
Just the 2. But like one more, it's one more kid to keep up with. But like it's not, at least in my opinion, from 2 to 3 was nowhere near as dramatic as 1 to 2.
1 to 2. I think so too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like with 1, it was so fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like it was. There's 2 of us and 1 of them, and at the
Right.
time, like eventually you're just like go to fuck to bed, and that's it.
Well, or
But now,
I
like you
could
take
be
1
like,
to bed, the other one's coming out, and then like you take that one, the other one needs water,
right.
and you're just like shut the fuck up, everyone, and go
Well,
to bed. But, like,
and with just 1, at the very bare minimum, I could be like, hey, you keep an eye on the kid. I need to go take a shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And nowadays,
I mean, you can't shit with a door closed in this house ever. Or and if you do,
Dude.
they open them.
they open them and then they sit on the rug on top of your feet as you are taking a shit.
By
and
they,
then,
it's just one of the. Our
and
middle one
then
does that.
she will complain that it stinks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how dare you complain that my shit stinks?
When you're here in
When
the throne
I
room.
started this, sorry, I'm yelling, probably waking up all the kids, but this is
Fuck 'em.
one.
This is
This
their
is a
fault.
hill I will die on.
This is their
Like,
fault.
I am in the bathroom by myself taking a shit.
Yeah.
You chose to come in here and sit on my feet and stay here.
Yeah.
That is on you. Your TV is on. You have snacks.
Kids are dumb.
At your fingertips. Go get a snack
But
and
they
go
just
watch
wanna
your
chat.
TV.
They want to chat.
But you choose to sit here in this single toilet room with me and complain that my shit stinks. Like, what do you expect?
I mean,
I'm taking a shit, kid. Like,
it is what it is, dude. You get used to that.
I'm sorry if that seemed aggressive, but like,
Oh, that's the other thing.
that happens more than once, and it
my-
drives me absolutely insane.
That's another thing my new best friend was complaining about. He's also one kid in the game so far. Like, his wife is pregnant, so there'll be multiples in soon.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, dude, like, I feel really bad taking time away from, like, the kid and this and that. I was like, do you take time away from work? He's like, yeah. I was like, does it make you feel good? And then when you come back to work, you can actually put up with it again? Yeah, I was like, and there you go, man. It's important.
Right.
Do
Like,
something without your fucking kids.
Otherwise, you will lose your
Still-
sanity.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And he's like, well, I don't know how to make time. And I was like, well, one of my things that I like to do, I just kind of made time by making all of my fucking people around me interested in it. And everyone does jujitsu.
There you go.
So I get to train all the time. And like, that may not be your thing, but like maybe, I don't know, spend some time gaming with your kid, like 2 hours a week.
Right.
You get
Figure
to game,
something
they
out.
play, get a fucking Mario game.
Give them a dead
Fucking
remote.
deal with
If
it.
they're young enough, you give them
Bro.
a dead remote.
The one other dude, and I guess he's in his 20s, so like
He's young, yeah.
He didn't even think about that. He's like, dude, that's a really good tip. I was like, yeah, you have an old PS3 remote, just fucking give your dumb kid that.
Right.
Dude.
Take
That'll
the
work for
battery
like
out.
2 years.
Take the battery out and give them the remote. It'll work for a while.
Yeah, they think they're playing. You're like, yeah, you're doing so good, and then you play whatever. Play Saints Row. I don't give a fuck.
Right. Exactly.
But, like-
Especially when they're young enough that they can't talk. Like, you can play Saints
Yeah,
Row.
dude. And it's like, it feels weird to like be giving like parenting advice to like
Parenting
these
advice?
guys. It's like, no, dude, I've been through it. You'll be fine. It sucks a little bit, but like you'll be all right.
Well, also, most of these people, like, it's their first kid and they're less than a couple years old. Like,
Yeah.
we have a 9-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a almost 18-month-old. Like, we're pros at this.
we
I feel-
paid our dues for sure.
Yeah, like we can tell you a thing or two. It may not be the best, but we
but like,
figured it out.
again, like, yeah,
We're still happily married 10 years and 3 kids later. Like,
yeah.
we're doing something right.
I just don't understand because I don't look like a very inviting person. I don't understand what about my appearance screams, hey, approach me with your problems. But it happens a lot.
Well, and also, too, like, you're only this talkative with me, or you're, like, best friends. But, like,
Right.
random people, you were not this talkative with. You were
I'm pretty quiet.
You were to yourself. Like, you'll
I'm
make...
observing.
Yes, but you know what I mean? Like, you'll make comments to me, but, like, it's not like you're jumping in the middle of the party like, hey, guys,
No.
let's talk and be besties. Like,
No.
you'll
Even, like,
stand
at
back
the party.
and eat the snacks
Yeah,
and, like...
I'm polite. I'll answer questions and
Yeah.
I'll make small talk. I hate it, but I will.
But you're not just like, please.
It's not my favorite thing
How
to
does
do.
that make you feel?
No.
How does that make you feel? Please tell me.
Please come. You having issues at home? Come. We'll dissect them together. No, thank you.
Hashtag can't relate.
But like, yeah, and then like I usually just start ridiculing the situation and poking jokes at it, and then people take me serious.
Well, and two, I think
You're just like, yeah, that's a
This is
really
gonna
good
come out
idea, man.
wrong.
It was like, I guess.
also, like, I am very chill
Yeah.
most of the time. Mm-hmm. So, like,
I'm not sarcastic. I'm agreeing.
You can crack all the shitty jokes. Not shitty, but, like, you can make some
There, a lot of
awful-
them are hurtful. I get
Some
it.
of the jokes you can make are terrible. And, like,
Yeah,
I'll just
but you
laugh
know
and be
I'm
like, okay,
joking.
he's fucking joking. But, like, I'm
But-
not even going to say women, but some people
Mostly
will just,
women.
like, get super defensive and pissy about that. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, I can't even say mostly women anymore. There's a lot of
Well, that's-
bitches out
yeah.
there that are dudes.
but that's why it's like, you got to pick your battles, dude. It sounds so cliche to say that because it's such a cliche thing, but like, pick your fucking battles.
Knowing what I know, that like, I never say anything just to be malicious.
Yeah.
I'm generally trying people to be like, oh, fuck. Okay, haha.
I had to learn that
But like,
after being with you.
if I'm entering like a situation where I'm going to like your work buddy's fucking
Yeah.
house, I'm not going to go in and just like be myself because I don't know very easily. Like you know, we walked in, saw a couple rug munchers.
You keep the comments to yourself until we get in the car and we're leaving. Yes.
Right, but like,
and the kids have headphones on.
a few of my friends, like my buddy that's gay, like I make horrible gay jokes to him, and he thinks they're hilarious. But like, if I went up to those two and be like, "Hey, does the carpet match the drapes?" I bet you know. Like, I don't think they'd like that.
Right, because they don't know you, and they don't know, like, it's a fucking joke. Like, you're just being stupid. You're not like...
dude, fucking eat that pussy. I don't give a shit.
Right, you're not trying to be an asshole.
No.
As long as they're not assholes to you about it, you're not going to be an asshole to them.
Yeah, so, like, generally I go in, I am quiet, like, before I actually get to know people.
Observe and report.
Yeah, pretty much.
Observe and report.
Once people know me and, like, I'm comfortable, I'll talk to you, like, more openly and stuff. But
yeah, until
then, it's just, like, I'm saving everyone the hassle of a fight. And the issue is, like, if it gets into a verbal argument, those are fun for me as also.
Right, but also, like...
So I'll start poking fun and making things usually worse. And then if it gets to a physical altercation, that's really fun for me.
But also, depending on the situation, because, like, at my coworker's house...
I was not going to start shit,
like,
no.
You wouldn't start shit.
No.
Like, that's why you're quiet, because you're like, hey, I want to make jokes, but I don't know how these people are going to take it, so I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
Well, the whole ride over there, I was literally in overdrive getting jokes out. I was like, I need to empty the tank before we go there.
Yeah, and on the way home, too.
On the way home, we had new material because I was fucking Dr. Phil for about half an hour.
Which still, like, blows my mind, because, like, another coworker came in with her 2-3-month-old baby, and I was holding the baby, and I kept, like, looking at you and, like, making jokes about how cute the baby was.
Yeah.
The whole time thinking that you guys are out there, like, having manly bonding time and are, like, talking about video games.
Dude, I tried to bring the conversation back to things that, like, I was like, let's talk fighting, let's talk anything, man.
If only I knew. We need to come up with, like, a code word.
Get me out of here. Ah! No.
No, but where I can be like, hey, do you want some...
If you're ever hanging out with your friends and from outside you hear this sound, we're headed out.
Nice. Okay, that's just
Or I'll pop my head in and be like,
I'm getting stupid loose.
And then we gotta get the fuck out of there.
That means save me, bitch, now.
Dude, I almost hit you with I'm getting stupid loose earlier today. Where like I was not in a very social mood. I haven't been in a social mood like all weekend.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we literally just had my coach over so we can watch the fights, but like I don't consider that socializing.
Okay, but prior to that, I took the
You
middle...
went to a party in the morning. I kept the two.
The middle kid to the birthday party, and you kept the older two.
You came back.
I came home,
we
grabbed
went to
you
the potluck.
and the kids, went to my work potluck.
For a few hours. We were there pretty long.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't want to... I didn't feel like being social then.
Yeah.
And then I played therapist for a while.
And then finally we were like, hey, the baby's tired.
The baby was tired. We got home.
Go.
And, but even earlier, I was just like, dude, like, I don't... Because we had kind of plans, or not plans. We had an idea of possibly going somewhere to watch the fights.
Yeah.
Or getting like
your
a
strip club.
You know it. Getting a slight, and when I say bigger group, it'd be like 5 of us tops.
Right, more than just the 2 of y'all.
Right. Together just to watch the fights and shit and shoot the shit. But like, I had enough interaction with people that I was just like, dude, I texted my coach, and he's a really good friend of mine.
I was gonna say, your coach is also like one of your closer friends here.
Down here, yeah. And I was like, hey dude, like, I don't want to be a dick, but like, I don't feel like socializing. I'm not going to do anything big, but if you want to come over, the fights will be on.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about that, and I was like, hey, you can invite him over.
Way.
Well, I was going to say, like, I told him, I was like, yeah, invite him over, whatever. And you were like, I don't feel like socializing. And I was like, dude, inviting him over does not count as socializing.
No, because he's like, it'd be like me hanging out with my brother.
Well, and also, like, with him, like, I can wear my friend's pajamas and my green shirt that t-shirt that doesn't match.
Right.
And fall asleep on the couch.
Well, as you've done multiple times, but yes.
Well, but like with him, like I was comfortable enough to do that and I didn't care.
Right.
I woke up and I was like, okay, cool. And I was able to go back to sleep and not a care in the
Our
world.
oldest one really wanted to stay up for the whole card, which he doesn't do very often. And I was just like, listen, coach is coming over. I don't give a fuck, dude. The three of us will hang out and talk fights.
I tried to hang
That's
out.
what she did. She was like,
she was
so
giving
proud.
me shit.
Yeah. She was making fun of you, like writing shit on the easel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that now. At the time, I was like waking up and I was like,
No. She was roasting you pretty hard. It was great.
There was like a freaking whiteboard that she's misspelling like "mom's sleeping" or something on
it
the
was
freaking whiteboard.
But like,
and then I remember you told her to wake me up and she just kicked the shit out of me.
yeah, that was. I was like, hey man, the fights are over. Wake your mom up. We gotta go. And she just fucking punted you.
Because we have an L-shaped couch and I was on the edge of the shorter L. She was snuggling with you on the longer L. And you were like, hey, well, okay, I didn't hear that part. I just remember being kicked and like jostled. And I was like, what? And then you laughed. And then you were like, I didn't mean wake her up like that.
Yeah, no.
And then I told the coach, I was like, hey, thanks for coming over.
yeah, as he was getting up to go. But better card than the weekend before.
Oh, I'm still so mad about that. The fucking corpse guard. What is that shit?
Stalling. But no, it was
Stalin?
a better card. Stalin.
Like
yeah.
Joseph?
That's it. A Russian dictator. No, Joseph Stalin. No, yeah, he was Russian. USSR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there another Stalin?
I'm thinking of Mussolini, but that was the Italian guy.
No, Stalin's Russian for sure.
Stalin is Russian. You're right.
I'm not a history person. I don't know history, but I know that I'm 98% sure Stalin is Russian.
Yeah. Soviet Union at the time, technically, but yes.
Same thing.
Anyway.
Let's not get into history right now. We'll talk about that later.
No. We had a good weekend. I did socialize. And then I did my type of socializing, which is just like literally with close friends.
Watching fights with one of your besties. It's fine.
I'm more than happy with that. As is, he's equally as awkward as I am, so he was fine.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was it. Last weekend.
You think that was it? Listen, let me tell you.
What?
Sorry. My plan.
Yeah.
So Saturday we had the birthday party, the potluck, the fights. Like we did things. So I told not everybody, but normally I hang out with my mom on Sunday. So I told my mom, I was like, listen, Mom, we got too much shit going on Saturday. So Sunday, we cannot hang out. I want to not do shit. Dude. My plan for Sunday was to just hang out at the house with my husband and my children and not do anything.
Yeah.
And then Saturday afternoon,
halfway through the potluck,
my neighbor texted me and was like, hey, it's my kid's birthday party. We're going to the American Girl store tomorrow. Do you want to come with us?
Yeah. And it's like our oldest kid is really good friends with their middle kid.
They're about the same age. And my initial thought was, hell no, because I'm trying not to do shit. That was my original thought. But then I felt bad. I guilt tripped myself. Okay. And I was like, okay, I got to be a good friend and a good neighbor. Like, we haven't hung out with them since Halloween, which has not been that long, but like, we're neighbors. We hang out all the time. So, like, we needed to hang out. So I was like, okay, fine, we'll go. So you and the baby stayed home, and I took the girls.
We did
almost an hour away, deep into Charlotte, to the American Girl store.
I mean, past Charlotte, you're almost in fucking South Carolina.
Now listen, I have been a tomboy my entire life.
No,
my entire life.
I don't believe that. I'm kidding.
Okay, fuck you. First of all,
I'm kidding.
But like, I've never. I guess I played with dolls like Barbies or whatever, but like. My favorite colors start like from the earliest I can remember. It was like blue was my earliest favorite color. Like I've never been like a pink and purple and frilly and girly. Like I've always been like a rough and tumble. Like I don't know, tomboy is my point.
All right, you dyke, get to it.
I'm married to a man with 3 children. Fuck off.
I identify as a woman for this second. Go on.
Good for you. Then I identify as a lesbian. I guess if you're a woman.
Nice.
That was a shitty high five.
Well, you know, what do you expect from 2 fat lesbians?
Ow, did you just call me fat?
I'm sorry, that was the joke.
Ow.
I said both of us. All right, a fat lesbian and a skinny one. Is that better?
I'm not skinny either.
Jesus.
Average. I'm an average Southern American.
Possible dyke. I'm not sure.
So I'm
Keep
fat.
going.
Either way, I've always been a tomboy. So I'm taking my daughters to the American Girl store. We walk in and the whole store is pink.
Hi, would you like some tea?
Right. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. It's fine. I'm dealing with it. My girls are having a good time, whatever. Then we go into this room where everything in this fucking room is a different shade of pink. Everything. Meanwhile, I have on like jeans and a loose t-shirt and flip-flops. So I'm like, okay. But the girls, of course, have on the cute
That's
dress.
very American of you, though.
They have on my girls have on like cute dresses.
For the tea party.
And they're like frilly or whatever. Their little dolls have their own little chairs and like little tea party shit.
Listen, they do whatever the fuck they want.
I know. It was cute for
like
them.
on Mondays and Fridays, they are excited to put on rash guards and go beat the shit out of people.
Exactly.
So like, it's fine.
But like in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, this is so
not us.
not me.
Yeah.
That it's like
Cringe.
painful.
Yeah. Well,
I sat
the dad called me shortly after you left.
Yeah, I
And
walked
he was
into
just
the
like, dude,
store.
there's a new brewery out here. When are you getting here? I was like, our
Yeah.
youngest is taking a nap and I'm playing some Mario. Like,
Yeah, I walked in. He was like, yeah, just talk to your husband. I was like, okay, he's not
Sorry.
coming. And he was like, yeah, I know. He told me.
yeah, he was not happy. I was like, dude, you got to tell me these things before.
Also, like, it's his kid. He has to be there. Like, it's.
Well, but like if he said, hey man, are you coming? Like I'd be like, no, I mean, stroke harder, but like whatever. No sex joke there. Okay.
Sorry, our oldest just texted me and asked if I was going to drop her off at school tomorrow.
Say no. She's got to walk.
Yes.
No. He's if he said, hey man, like, come down. There's a new like if he had mentioned something, I probably would have just taken the youngest one with us.
Either way,
But
it
he
was
did
very
not.
girly and very frilly and pink and frou-frou, and that is not me, but our girls had a blast. But I was just like, it was definitely like a tea party. Like they had
I'm sure.
they had little tiny little teacups for their dolls.
Bro, they have rental dolls.
They did have rental dolls for if you didn't bring one. They had cake and then like ice cream.
You
and
guys were
like,
complaining about the cake. How bad was this cake?
the cake literally tasted like it had been in the freezer for a couple months and then like
Months.
brought out.
That was one of the first things he said too. He's like, the fucking
He didn't
frozen ass
even
cake.
taste it. He didn't even taste it.
He's not a sweets guy.
He's not, but he didn't have anything. I guess because they didn't want to count him as an adult because it was more money, but whatever.
Or whatever, yeah.
But like, because me and his wife and his mom
yeah.
and his oldest daughter were the 4 adults.
Right.
And the cake was like 1 layer of chocolate, 1 layer of vanilla with like icing, in the middle or whatever.
You skip the chocolate.
Yeah, so I was trying to eat the vanilla and like it was very dry, which
Right.
whatever. Not everybody can make a moist cake.
They can on the Great British Baking Show.
But like I took a bite of it and like the icing is like falling apart. Our middle kid, had like the spoon in one hand, was picking up the cake, putting it on the spoon, and then putting it in her mouth with both of her hands like this.
Oh Lord.
She was like, here, put it on they're trying to get it in her mouth.
Did it have a good sponge though?
No, it did not have a good sponge. The sponge was not good. The icing was still cold and hard.
Ayo.
So that was, whatever. It's a birthday cake.
Girls had fun.
The girls had fun. Our middle kid ate the whole cake, which surprised me.
She usually doesn't eat a lot.
Our oldest kid ate the chocolate layer and then traded with one of her friends and ate the friend's chocolate layer,
That's not surprising, actually.
which it just cracked me up because she was like, I don't like vanilla. And I'm like, well, F
Since
you, I don't
when?
like chocolate. So,
No.
but it was just not my scene. And then they're like, oh, look at all these doll accessories and all these things. And I'm like, oh,
Fuck all of this. Let's look at geese and rash guards.
right. Let's go buy some Legos. Let's go to the Lego store.
Lego store is pretty dope.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
I wonder if the Lego store has birthday parties.
I'm sure.
Let's look at that.
She may like that, actually.
Her birthday is like shortly after Christmas, so I feel like we have to start thinking about it. Otherwise, we forget until
Yes.
it's like time for
This
the party.
week,
And we're like,
yay.
oh, that. Yeah, we've done that before, which it always works out. But
It does. Anyway, we said we were going to record for a half hour today.
We said
got
30
an
minutes.
hour.
We've been talking for an hour, but that's
good.
good. We have 2 weeks to make up for.
We missed you guys. We will be back. Hopefully, no more incidents. We didn't even talk about the concussion, but our middle one got a concussion. She's fine.
She also, so listen, she fell on her face. We were playing outside for like a very short period of time. We were just like, hey, we're about to go to bed, but like, sure, we'll go outside for like 20 minutes, whatever, in the cul-de-sac. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to the neighbor, and then she comes up to me crying. She's like climbing on some shit in the front yard she's never even thought about climbing on before, and has a massive scrape on her nose, a big bruise and scratch on her forehead.
Yeah.
I fixed it, and then like
a few days later, she just takes a free fall from the monkey bars.
A few days later, I'm at work, and my mom calls me, and she's like, hey, I just picked up your kid from daycare.
She's twitching a little bit.
There was an incident, like she fell off the monkey bars and hit her head. But like she's acting okay. There's a knot there. Like, I just wanted to tell you, but I could hear a little bit of panic in her voice.
Yeah, and I made the mistake once I got home. You were already on your way home when I got home.
Yeah.
But I asked her, I was like, do you have a headache? She's like, yes, I have a headache. And then she had that word built in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if but you always want to make sure. But it was a minor concussion. She's fine.
Well, and I left work just because, like, I mentioned to my coworkers, and they were like, yeah, you need to get her checked. So my boss was like, yeah, go home, get her checked. You know, we have coverage. You're good, whatever. So in my head, I was like, even if she's okay, like, I get to leave work early.
That's kind of
nice. Fine, I'm leaving work early.
Yeah.
And I came home, and then, of course, her being the middle child and a 4-year-old and whatever else, it was
problematic.
You know, now my head hurts. Oh, my tummy kind of hurts too.
Right, of course.
So then I was like, all right, let's get you checked out.
But
I took her to the urgent care. She had a mild concussion, but like she was perfectly fine. I kept her home the next day, and she was like bouncing off the walls, and I was trying to keep her calm. I was like, hey, like, you have a mild concussion. Please chill out.
She was also mad on Friday when I told her she may not be able to go to training.
Oh.
She's like, but I need to go to Jets. Like,
she was also trying to sing. Like, we were in the room waiting for the doctor. We'd already seen the nurse and done the vitals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Waiting for the doctor. And she's sitting there, like, starting to sing.
Of course.
I'm like, really? You're fine. Let's leave. Like, we don't even need to be seen by the doctor. Screw this. Like, you're fine. Let's get out of here.
It is what it is. But no, we're back.
We're back, bitches.
Thanksgiving is in a couple weeks. We'll let you guys know what the fucking plan and all that shit is for that. But until then, we will see you cunts next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday, bitches.
I don't give a fuck.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I don't like your jerk off name. I don't like your jerk off face. I don't like your jerk off behavior. And I don't like you jerk off.